Back. Come at me, bro. Go ahead.
It's definitely a very good card, my good sir, and I'm not excited to play it.
Attack. Good. Sure. No wolf bark for you. Attack. Deep prison number 2. That's not a deep prison. Sure.
Effect, target this.
What happens is,
Sure.
Effect. Effect.
hey Judge. Get a Pellegrin, like what happened.
Good.
There's really no warning for that. So he asked me, do I live in and I'll be like, no. Okay, so I'm not gonna let him be. That's fun. Here's that background.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't, so when it happens, I don't know, like, and then,
Sure. Yep.
I swear, one day I will
Sure. I mean, deck mistake. Heck.
So, yeah.
Attack.
You're targeting both cards.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Try getting
More out attack. Resolving? Yeah.
Clutch at MST.
Good.
To get a firm thrashing.
Selling?
Sure. Okay.
What's your YouTube channel?
Crolla Cresta.
Oh, Acosta?
Crolla Cresta. I can write down for you if you want.
Huh?
I can write down for you if you want.
My friend said he found this, like, a duck very similar to this called ILMOS online.
ILMOS, yeah. I'm the guy who made it.
You are?
Yep.
He's been playing it for like 2 weeks.
It's an amazing deck.
I heard he's not really character.
It's a deck I'm playing tomorrow.
The whole second side. Half the season will always be there. You know what I'm saying?
Target?
That's dumb, but probably.
Cool.
That's what happened to me game one, man. I think it's just gonna be one of those days.
No, I was.
Fine.
I mean, dubs are easy to use because they exaggerate like just how the translations are. Japanese language has their more emotions in their words, so it's just like they have to get it. Once you use that, it's like.
Response?
This happened. You boo boo.
Attack Team Misu? 500? Attack with Hookate? Good.
Oh, I saw my next card.
It would have been cool if I had Wednesday off, but I had to wake up. I'm not gonna like
Something?
like this 3 times. No, I'm talking about
Yeah, it was weird. I remember I saw Hanzo earlier. I was like, man,
I'm just making sure that I'm like, oh, I got some traffic.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, you got it.
That lure was so clutch. I thought I lost that one. Sure. Yep. That looks nostalgic.
Huh?
That looks nostalgic.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing on field.
I had everything in good. One thing that I was taking damage.
2 cards in hand?
No.
That's
I'm at 8. I hit with 14 from the other. So you're at 66.
42. 42-38. Does that seem fair? Assuming I attack with this, that would be, it would have been at 21, right? And so I take 7 from that. So 7, 11, and 2,000. 42-38. So winning 40.
Yep. Yep.
No.
attack.
36. Take a shot.
Good. Flip the Cree. Target. Chain.
Back to destroy Dark Hole.
Still in interest.
Okay. This is the new ones. Sure.
Plus 19 was, it was 22-38. Yeah, on that 42, I was at 22. 19 for 38, which was 22. You're at 19?
Oh, yeah.
I've been on double chateau, double ice hand, and
Huh.
double lance.
Welcome back.
Yeah, one in hand and a essentially.
Attack. Sure.
Is this a second effect in the grave?
New game, right?
Separate effect in the grave. Okay.
What'd you say?
Is that first blood?
I'm at 70.
You're at 78, I'm at 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, you checked me once. Okay. So I'll take 2,000. So, continue attack. Attack. Go ahead. Turn. Attack with Hanzo. So 33 to 44?
Yep.
Go ahead.
I looked up my next card.
I don't mind, dude. Don't worry about it.
Just that one. Is it during either player's turn?
Yep.
Pass.
Carry this.
Yeah, I know. Oh. I can do it during your turn.
Turn.
I just asked you, dog.
Activate.
Bro, I asked him to give it a
Cool. Tap. Game? Or just first?
That's good.
G.
I'm so fucking stupid. I just.
Alright guys, so here's a game versus ILMOS and FAT. This tournament here was a tournament hosted by Jeff Jones and Alex Vincent, and it happened before the Nationals, so it was good playtesting time for the new variant of ILMOS that I made. So I summoned Hanzo to search out the +1, and I debate how many I want to set, whether 5 or whatnot, because I don't know if he would be able to nuke my whole back row. I just said F it and set 5. I set the Allure because I want that to be good MST bait in case the opponent decides to blind MST for whatever reason. So it's there to chill, basically, to be bait, seeing as I didn't have any darks. He deprisons the Hanzo attack, which I was kind of sad about, so it leaves a dead ninjutsu art until I draw another ninja. I bombless the bear, so he doesn't have a Wolfbark target, and it worked out well. I was however trolled when he activates the Tenki and then searches out his second copy of his bear. Luckily I had a deprison set, so I decided to just wait until he attacks so I can deprison, so he misses another Wolfbark target, meanwhile saving my life points and preventing his plus. He sets 2 more, and here I special Thrasher because I want him to bait out whatever he tries to destroy him, whatever. Thrasher is an amazing card to bait out anything because if they have a warning, they would usually warning him because they would rather take 2,000 rather than 2,100. And, you know, just overall really good card to bait stuff out. So he goes to pop his face down Murloc, and then I couldn't do anything about it. So Thrasher ends up dead, which I don't mind because I baited out his artifacts to destroy Thrasher rather than to disrupt the play that I would have in the future. Now I just hope that he falls into the torrential with those two. And I kept on my best poker face. Here he debates on whether to just attack or just go into a Pleiades for the safe play. Seeing as how I play a lot of back row, he assumes I would have a Mirror Force to destroy those two, so he decides to go for the safe route and then goes for a Pleiades. So if Pleiades does die, then he at least replaces the Pleiades with the Tenki that he would bounce back to his hand. A safe play, but it would have been better for him to attack. I would have been forced to book one of his artifacts, and I wasn't sure if I was able to get past 2 artifacts next turn. So he summons his third copy of Bear, and I couldn't do anything about it. He attacks, but the only thing he would have gotten from it would have been another Tenki. And I decided not to book the bear, because the only thing he would have gone was a Tenki. And there is a chance that he does not play the gorilla, because here he's already out 3 bears and a wolf bark. So I chanced it and assumed that he didn't play the gorilla to search for that Tenki. So I top deck a Rhoda and summon the Hanzo. This here is great because I already have a ninjutsu art set, so if he decides to like bomb us or whatnot to the Hanzo, I'll just flip the ninjutsu art and then completely dodge it while getting out a boss monster on the field. So here he doesn't have a response for the initial summon of Hanzo, so I search out the ninjutsu art. And then fearlessly attack into his bear, hoping he would activate a Deep Prison or a Mirror Force. So he debates on whether or not to activate his set call of the Haunted. He thinks and thinks, but he opts to use a Deep Prison instead. And then I chain my ninjutsu art. Here, from his reaction, looks like he was caught off guard, so I assume he just completely forgot that I had a ninjutsu art set. Generally, people are like completely caught off guard if I summon a Hanzo, search out a ninjutsu art, and then, oh look, I already have a ninjutsu art set. They always try to kill that Hanzo, so like my ninjutsu art isn't live action. But, you know, that one that was already set usually does the deed. So we changed Call the Haunted. And I debate whether or not to use Book. Like, would that have been any advantageous at all in the situation? But there was nothing I found that would actually help with using that book at all. So I just let the chain resolve. And then White Dragon comes out. I debate on getting the Redox, because Redox would come back if it's destroyed, but I decided to just let him kill the White Dragon, because I want that thing out of my deck as soon as possible. So I set a card, and then I end turn. So now I have a ninjutsu art to dodge with the next Hanzo, a bluff, a lure, and the Book of Moon to stop the play. So I only had one active card in this whole field to stop whatever he has. So the 2 cards I set since turn 1 didn't do anything at all, so he assumes that those are 2 dead cards. So he pops the set ninjutsu art transformation. The good thing that I searched that out with the remaining Hanzo, because those 2 cards help me win the game. For example, here's a top decked Dark for the Allure. And then I top deck 2 Madoshes off of that single Allure Darkness. So now, I was in a losing position earlier, but now I'm back in the game. I debate whether or not I should do just a search for a Magdalene, and then discard that same Magdalene for a rank 4 play, because I could arc his moral attack and then attack over Gorilla. But I decided to just go all out because my life points were low, so I got out of the habit of being conservative and I went for the aggressive play. Here I debate on like if I should search the Magdalene or the Angeli for the big huge play, because I could just Redox Angeli, special Angeli, and then tree yourself to get another Madoshe, and then, you know, have a single Tiramisu on the field. Because if I did the Hoot Cake play that you saw earlier, then that would leave a Hoot Cake on the field, and if he had a Call the Haunted set, then he could call the Gorilla, attack over the Hoot Cake, and then get a plus off of that. But since if it was a call, then most likely he would have a really good play off of that anyway. So I just said, you know what, let's just go for this play, because it gives me the most pluses off of every possible play. So I have a Magically in hand too for a backup play in case something went wrong. So even if this gets interrupted somehow, then I would have a Magically to help continue my search engine. So I special Angeli off of the hoop, tribute herself to get a target in the graveyard, and then I activate that Tiramisu. Now, here's that habit of like bouncing that set card. The only debate I had was either bouncing back the Gorilla or the Morale Attack. I chose the Morale Attack because even though if it makes his Sanctum more live, he only shown one Morale Attack, which is what I looked for in the graveyard. So if he does Sanctum, then, well, he had it active anyway. But if I bounce back the Morale Attack, he would top deck into that Morale Attack. Like, there's a chance of that happening, versus top decking into that Gorilla, where that Tanky is still alive. So I just kill that Gorilla, and bounce back that Morale Attack, which I hope he drew next turn. So he tries to think of a Wolfbark play. Thankfully, I conserved that Book of Moon since all the way from turn 1, because he summons the Wolfbark, and then I immediately Book of Moon it to stop his play. My turn, I would have went off. I would have summoned, I would have activated Hoot Cake, Special Angeli, Tribute Angeli for a Magically or a Mew, and then I would have a target in the graveyard for Tiramisu to go off. Tiramisu would activate, and I would overlay the Hoot Cake and the Mew for a Levier, and then done something cool from there. But he decides to scoop, and I drew the Mew anyway, so most likely I would just special the Angeli into Magically, and normal summon the Mew, and special the Madoshe Magically into my hand to do some really cool one combo play. So here's that Crow. People might think that I sided it, but in actuality I decided to main deck Crow because I expected to see a lot of Lights Warrens, and main deck Crow really hurts them. And due to me main decking Crow, I was allowed to play an Allure, so, you know, more draw power for more back row, right? I summoned the Hanzo to get my plus. He bomblesses it, so in the end it's still a plus. I baited out that bombless trap hole. So it worked out very well in my favor. So some people can see the Thrasher that was in my hand. Usually I would special summon him to bait out the back row, and then summon the Hanzo to make it successful. But I knew he had a bombless set, and I wanted my Thrasher to hit the graveyard as much as I can, because I had Masked Chameleon in my hand, so I wanted to keep the Masked Chameleon live to action as much as I possibly could. So I decided to just go for the Hanzo duality play, because I can get another Ninjutsu art, and then summon the Hanzo that was in my hand, to bait out a back row, chain a Ninjutsu art that was set, and then get a boss monster, while at the same time still having a Thrasher and Masked Chameleon in hand to go for more plays in the future. And usually I want to keep Thrasher in my hand to either bay a back row, or to special him, then summoning a level 4, searching, and then making a rank 4. And then, you know, Thrasher hits the graveyard, while having a rank 4 in the field. So now I have 2 Hanzos and a Crow. He didn't have anything in his graveyard, so I banished the Crow. I summoned the Hanzo, and then waited. Here I summon Hanzo, and then activate his effect as search. And then attack into his Mirmelo, hoping to bait out either D-Prison or a Morale Attack activation. But he didn't fall for it, so the attack goes through. This situation is really good for me, because I would have 2 Ninja Sparks set. I would disrupt 1 summon to get out White Dragon, and my second Ninja Sword can transform my White Dragon and his monster for another disruption. He activates Call and specials Mirmelo. He puts it in defense mode, but I really didn't care if it was in attack or defense mode. Like, he was supposed to special summon in attack mode, but it doesn't matter, it was end phase. In his turn he could switch it to attack or defense mode, so I just really didn't care. I decided to just let him do it, rather than saying, hey, attack mode, blah blah blah. Either way, Mirmelo's triggering her affected pop the back row. So he targets my second Ninja Sword, luckily. He was trying to snipe the Torrential, which I duality'd first turn, but he misses it and pops the wrong card. And so I activate it, he throws it back in my deck, which makes that third Hanzo in my hand live action once again. And he finishes off this end phase by sniping this Torrential Tribute. I really like playing against Wiretap, because that could have been a 7 tools, and I would rather have my Ninjutsu Art thrown back into the deck versus having it in my graveyard, because if it's back in my deck, my Hanzos are back to being live action to continue searching. There's actually a game where my opponent wiretapped both of my Ninjutsu Arts, and then I searched it out, and then that won me the game. So it was like playing 4 Ninjutsu Arts without actually having played 4. So his turn, he draws and summons the Gorilla. He was gonna exceed because he clearly doesn't have a 10 key to make that Gorilla live action. So I Ninjutsu Arted right there because I cannot use Ninjutsu Art on a XYZ. So I had to do it right then and there. I could have warning that XYZ that came out, but I wanted to save the warning because it's such a powerful card, and I wanted to tip my deck out of the White Dragon because I really don't want to draw into it. So, no, I got the White Dragon. And, you know, summon the Hanzo, search, attack with the Hanzo. And he flips the Sanctum. I don't warning it because if I warning it, it will pop a card in my field. So he summons the Beagle attack. Then he targets his set Morale attack, which I warning his effect to bring himself back from the graveyard. So had I warning that XYZ last turn, I would have only a Ninjutsu Art set, and that would not have saved my field, because Morale attack would have popped my monster, and then I would have a dead Ninjutsu Art set. So here I clear his field, continue attack, and then attack. And then I set the Ninjutsu Art once again. So I felt really safe. My back row cannot be destroyed, and I have basically a Super Poly in my field to disrupt any play he has. I attacked into his empty field, and then end turn. And he draws, and then he ripped into the Wolf Bark, which again I was not afraid of because I had a Ninjutsu Art set. He summons the Wolf Bark, and then I try to stop it from there. But he drew into either I had the Lance already or drew into the Lance. But either way, only my Hanzo got sent, and I was forced to special summon Hyper Hammerhead because I only super transformed up to 4. I special it in defense mode because I would rather not take the life point damage. If the monster he had was lower than 1500, I was special in attack mode. But, you know, he was able to run it over, so I just special in defense. I ripped into Mirmello, which I had not drawn all game. He Veilers, and then I go for the backup plan of Kage Tokage. Kage Tokage is really good because if they Veiler any Searcher, or Breakthrough Skilled, or Chain, I can just go for the backup plan for a rank 4 instead of a Search. And from here, it's game.